So going back to the topic, Patya Vibhita Dhatri Phalaisya Dhatri Nam Phalaisya Tripala Samaihi. So what it basically does is, first it is going to Bhava Prakasha goes on to state which are the three phalas. Okay, so that is Patya Vibhita Dhatri from the Tripala. And what are the other names that we see? Phalatrika, Tripala, Savarasa, Prakirtita. So these are the other names that are given to Tripala, that is Palatrika, Tripala, and Vara.
Okay.
Okay. And then the third line tells you Tripala Kapaphittagni. So when you tell Tripala, why do you use? You use generally in terms of Kappa and Pitta. So you to reduce Kapha and Pitta, you use Tripala
Okay.
wherever that Doshagnata karma is required. And coming to Rogagnata, we'll be looking at Meha, that is Prameha, Kushta, that is skin disorders, and Chakshushya, Deepani. These are the additional benefits that you see. So mainly in Rogas of Meha and Kushta, that is Kleshma Pittottara Vikharas, or the additional benefits will be Chakshushya Deepani Richa Vishamajwara Nashini. Here is another Roga, that is Vishamajwara, and these are the karmas, that is Chakshushya Deepani and Richa.
Okay.
So this is how Tripala Shloka goes. So this is a very easy shloka, right? So if the student can also learn the last two lines, that is, he can just learn Tripala Tapapitagni, Meha Kushta Harasara, Chakshushya, Deepani, Rasha, Vishama, Jwaranashini. Fine.
Okay, sir.
So next we'll be going on to what that Tripala is. So amongst the Tripala, the first one, that is Patya, is Haritaki, which also is called as Patya. The synonym of Haritaki is Patya. So the botanical name goes as Terminalia cebula, and belonging to Comprataceae family. And the next drug will be Vibita, which is Vibitaki, that is Terminalia bellerica, again belonging to Comprataceae family. And the last drug is Dhatri Phala or Amalaki, which botanically goes like Embolica officinalis, belonging to Euphorbiaceae family. Right? So this forms your first step. In the Mishra and his family step, this forms your first part. So get to know the Mishraka Gana, what are the drugs, learn their botanical names and their family names. Okay.
Okay.
The next is Mishra. This is Mishra and then their family. Say, for example, here Haritaki terminalia cebula and Bibitaki terminalia bellerica belong to family Combrataceae. Okay, so the Combrataceae is what I will take. So the family Combrataceae is a group of large trees, shrubs, sometimes mangroves, rarely spiny. The leaves are opposite word. I hope opposite or word you understand. So when on a straight line, say this is your straight line, and when they are exactly next to each other, they are called as opposite. While if they are one is like this and the next at the next node the leaf is on the opposite side, it is called as alternate. Fine. So leaves are opposite. Petiolate having a stalk. Okay, leaves having a stalk. Simple, entire, often pair of petiolar glands. This is one of the identification structures of the Combrataceae family drugs. That is, they have a oil gland in the bottom. If this is the leaf with the stalk here, they have an oil gland at the bottom. So this
Okay.
either one side or two side depends on the species that is there and the location also which it grows in. So at the base of the leaf there are two oil glands. So that is what is petiolar glands. Okay. So inflorescence axillary or terminal. The picture shown here is terminal inflorescence, simple panicles, panicle. This is a panicle inflorescence again, spikelets. So flowers are usually caducous, bracts, bisexual. Fruits one seeded, indehiscent, dry or spongy to succulent wall drupes. Drupes are like a bunch of a sort of
Grapes.
what would you say? Not exactly like grapes, separate. You
Okay.
imagine a bunch of grapes, but each of the grapes separate, just like your jamun or your jambu.
Okay.
So these are again drupes, right? So what will we do next is we will go to the family combrataceae and we will search from family combrataceae which other drugs are there in our syllabus, which other drugs do we have to study from combrataceae, family combrataceae, fine.
Okay.
So next we'll be learning is uh, I would always say the reason why I chose JLN Shastri sir's textbook, like I said back then, was because it has an easy notion. It has a list of drugs from with their family,
Oh, great.
arranged according to their families. So you could go back to that and search. So from the family combrataceae, we have four drugs, but here, for example, I have taken just three drugs. Okay, so the drugs are A, B, C, and K. Terminalia Arjuna, Terminalia Bellarica, Terminalia Cebula, and Terminalia Katapa. So here we'll be studying, we have studied about Terminalia Cebula and Terminalia Bellarica, and then we will be studying about Terminalia Arjuna as well. So like this, see, when you study like this, the advantage is that first thing is you finish one Mishraka Gana. So you have one shloka in your hand. Okay, you heard your teachers say a lot of times that shloka is important, it gains you extra marks and all that, right? So you have one shloka to quote. And second thing is you have learned three drugs. So any of these drugs come in your exam, you can, or for all these drugs you can quote this shloka. Say for example Haritaki comes, there also you can quote this shloka. Vibhitaki comes, there also you can quote tripala shloka. Amalaki comes, there also you can quote this shloka. That fine. So you have learned three drugs now. I mean you have learned the drugs there. Then you have learned the botanical name and the family name of these drugs. Okay. And fourth thing, once you have gone to the family, from any family for that matter, if you go back to the syllabus and check if there are any other drugs belonging to the same family, like I have taken here the family Combrataceae, to which Haritaki and Vibhitaki belong. Same way in Trikatu, what is that? Pipili, Maricha, and Shunti, right? So Pipili Maricha belong to Piperaceae family, Piper longum and Piper nigrum. So as far as I remember, there are five drugs. There are five drugs from Piperaceae family: Piper longum, Piper nigrum, Piper cubeba, Piper chaba, and Piper beetle. Yeah, Piper beetle, which is Nagavalli Patra, and then Piper chaba is your Chavya, and Piper cubeba is your Gajapipali, or your this thing. What is that? Yeah, Gajapipali, and Pipili is your Piper longum, and Piper nigrum is your Maricha. So we went to Trikatu, we learned the shloka, then we went to the drug, each individual drug, and then I saw that they belong to Piperaceae family or Zingiberaceae family, because Shunti is from Zingiberaceae family. So from Piperaceae family, I finished five drugs. That means Cubeba, Piper Cubeba, Chaba, Longum, Nigrum, and beetle, Piper beetle. So five drugs I will be finishing. What is the advantage of learning the other drugs in the same family? The advantage lies with habit, because many people don't know if Amrita Balli or your Guduchi is a tree or a shrub or a creeper. Many times when teachers go for correction, they come back to us laughing, telling that the state of students is so worse that they are not able to recollect if Guduchi is a tree, shrub, or a creeper, whatever it is. So each of these drugs have a certain morphological characters. So I can't tell myself to be someone else's description. I can't give when I give criminal's description to a police, I have to be very exact, right? So I can't give some other description to the police, then you will be misleading them. In the same way, when you are describing a plant, you need certain characteristics. These are called as morphological structures. So when you learn one family's common morphological structure, this can be applied for all the drugs of that family. So when here, what you are seeing on the screen is the morphological structure of family Combretaceae, which is common for all the drugs of Combretaceae family. That means A, B, C, and K. That is Arjuna, Bellarica, uh,
Che-
um, uh,
Chebula.
Cebula, and
Katapa.
Katapa. All the four drugs of the Combretaceae family that we have to study as Ayurvedicians have the same morphological features. So even if you don't know the specific morphological characters of that plant, you can quote the family Combretaceae features or the family features of those drugs. Say, for example, all the five drugs of Piperaceae family are creepers, so they have similar morphological structures. So whatever is common, you can pick. So it is easy to remember. At one shot, you will be completing a lot of drugs. That fine?
Yes.
So you don't restrict yourself to detailed or non-detailed when you're doing this step. Remember, don't restrict yourself to detailed or non-detailed when you're doing this step. You go ahead with search the entire syllabus copy and select the drugs which are having the same botanical name, or I mean same botanical family. So drugs belonging to Zingiberaceae, you all put together and start learning. They are herbaceous. They have herbaceous stem, chlorophyllous stem. Then the leaves are in. They have a sheathed base. All these are common structures of Zingiberaceae family. So whenever you are learning a family feature, it is very easy to learn habit, which is one of the major hurdles that every Dravyaguna student faces, because the student has said that, come on, I'm doing a medicine field. I'm inside. I'm doing medicine. I'm studying medicine. So why do I have to learn botany part? Okay. So but whenever you are sitting in the clinic, patients will come asking, sir, ನಾನು ಇದು ತಗೊಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೆ. I was taking this thing. I was taking that thing. So you should be able to understand and identify what the plant is, what the patient is taking. Especially in the modern day world, people are taking herbal medicines haywire. So they don't want to take normal medicine, so they're pushing all sorts of herbal medicines into their gut. Genie or what says whatever. So when they're taking all this, you should need to know the action, what it is going to do to the patient. So for that, you need to identify certain structures. So you should know from, even though you are studying medicine, you must know the morphological characters. Fine.
Yes, sir.
So this is how the Combretaceae family members are. So quickly recapitulating, today we learned about Mishra and his family. So learning about Mishra, that is Mishraka Gana, what you do is learn the Mishraka Ganas with their shlokas, specifically with their shlokas. These are drug combinations that have hypersynergism. When acting together, they generally have similar qualities on the human body. Fine. So then the next part is you have to learn the other drugs in the same, belonging to the same family of the drugs in the Mishrakagana. Say of each drug that one learns in Mishrakagana, take its family and learn all the Latin names of the drugs occurring in the same family. Even though I mention here as Latin names, it's better that you finish reading all the drugs that are completely in a complete manner here occurring in the same family, so you shall understand or recognize and familiarize all the drugs in the same syllabus occurring under same family. So what is the advantage of this method is you will be learning many drugs in one shot, right? So you will be learning Mishraka Garnas, also you will be learning the drugs from their respective families. So in a short, say in a day you will be learning in and about, if you take it properly, in and about you'll be learning 11 to 12 drugs. So, and it will be easier to remember also, because they will have same qualities and they will also have same habit. So you have to search in the net for family characteristics, like say U4BAC family has certain peculiar features, and then Comrade family has certain peculiar features. So learning them, you can apply to every other drug in the same group belonging to same family. So going back again, as an example, I gave you Tripala, and I told you the sloka first consists of the lists out and lists the drugs that belong to this Mishraka Gana, that is Patya Vibhita Dhatri Na, Palaisya Tripala Sama, Palatrikam Cha. The second line tells you the synonyms, the third line gives you the Doshagnatha, and then continues on to give the Rogagnatha. Also, it gives you certain karmas like Chakshushya, Deepani, and Prajya. Fine. So what next? Going to individual of these drugs. So when you study like this, also you will understand the rasapanchakas. You can also list out the rasapanchakas, which is a little bit more complex. But then you can compare and study. See, here Haritaki and Amalaki both have Lord Varjita Shatrasa, and all the Haritaki and Vibhitaki both have Laghuruksha property. All the three have Madhura Virya, and Haritaki and Vibhitaki have Ushna, Madhura Vipaka, and both Haritaki Vibhitaki have Ushna Virya, and then individual karmas also have been noted down. Right? So next we'll be going to the family. Like I said, Terminalia, Cebula, and Bellarica belong to Combretaceae family. So as an example, so I have taken the family Combretaceae. You learn all the common features of family Combretaceae. Say like if you tell this much in your exam, it is more than sufficient. Of course, you can learn better those who are interested, but common family competency features you can enlist for all the four drugs, that is A, B, C, and K. It is Arjuna, Bellarica, Chebula, and Katapa. Right? So we'll be going ahead with those as well. So, Terminalia Chebula, Bellarica, and Arjuna are so as follows. And one more thing that you can do is, each time that this is common to all steps. So, each time that you hear a botanical name, it is good to go back and search your net and put your net on and search for the botanical name, and it will give you a lot of pictures. I think you need to study Dravyaguna with pictures. Even though you can't see the drug correct clearly, I mean live, you have to see the pictures. So that's how you remember, right? So
Yes.
when I say Terminalia Bellarica, it has brownish, peculiar, like a pear shape, like this. Kumba ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. So it has that shape. So, and then Haritaki has the shape of an eye. So like this, right? Haritaki has the shape of an eye. So this is Haritaki. And then the Arjuna has a winged petiole. It is called a Samara, a winged fruit, right? So if this is the fruit, it has star shape all over, right? So it has wings. So it is called a Samara. So you can go ahead, you can learn like this. This is one of the best methods that I personally feel. You can remember like this. So sometimes what happens is, even if you put botanical names, you would not get the correct pictures. But in that sense, what you do is you go to the pictures that are most recurring. Say Terminalia Bellarica did not have an exact picture, but there were many recurring pictures of the same that look the very same. So you will remember it like this. So sometimes what happens is, when you say, for example, aconitum ferox that gives you purple color, violet color, yellow color, whatnot. So how do you know that aconitum ferox is aconitum ferox? So you will have to do certain amount of background work. So we'll be stopping right there. So your assignment for next month, so the entire month will be, because this chapter or this step takes in and around 45 to 55% of your completes your syllabus. You will be concentrating mainly on Mishrakagana and then coming back to the families. You will be you will be completing the cusp or the main part of the Dravyaguna syllabus. Okay, so what you have to do is go back to Mishra Gagana, quickly learn all the shlokas, then go to their drugs and check out their families. Go to the families, learn all the other drugs in their families, and get ready for the next step. That fine?
Thank you, sir. It was
So
an
we'll stop there.
amazing session this today. I have to tell you this because you set a pattern for us. Like we have to revise and revise and revise, but there should be a pattern to revise. It is not some random revision that keeps things in the mind. It is a structured pattern revision which always stays with us for a very long time. So I think you taught us that today, saying go with the Mishra, then his family, then other drugs in the family. Then along with that, we will learn about the characteristics in the same family. If we do that, I'm very sure that you taught us a very speedy and shorter way to understand Dravya Guna and keep it for a very long time. Thank you very much, sir. I hope we can rejoin back at the earliest with another episode of Tvam Sashaktam Bhava. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Thank you. Namaste.